Hey, what's up, guys? I spent all morning looking through the paper to try to find something that was not political, and this is actually a really interesting article that I found about Alzheimer's. The last time that I was looking at Alzheimer's research, my grandfather had dementia and Alzheimer's, and I was reading about how if you bring music around somebody from their childhood, their teenage years, early adult, they can actually start to form new pathways. And I've seen videos of them where they just light up, and you can really tell a huge difference when they hear music from their childhood. So, in in an ongoing kind of quest of mine to find out what kinds of things can actually help with Alzheimer's. I guess this would be the side quest of the life RPG. Would be Penn researcher finds antidepressants may reduce signs of Alzheimer's. In the type of antidepressants that this researcher found, they were using the SSRIs, the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and specifically Lexapro. So it turns out that there's a protein that builds up in your spinal column, in your spinal fluid, and I believe it's an amylid. I'm not sure if I said that right. Amyloid, amylid. I think it's amylid. It builds up in your spinal column whenever you are showing signs of Alzheimer's. They believe that's the connection, and I find it really interesting, especially selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors were actually uh, originally created by from the same type of drugs that the inventor of ecstasy created. He was trying to create an antidepressant, and he came across ecstasy, and later on developed more work for antidepressants. And he's still a very big believer in ecstasy as a use for antidepressant. And in some countries, they're still studying the use cases for ecstasy, things like magic mushrooms, LSD, all those kinds of things, as treatments for depression. And in this article, it actually mentions that depression is linked to Alzheimer's. And in other countries, they've found that magic mushrooms are able to flush out old levels of serotonin and decrease depression in the people that have taken them as part of this research. So, very interesting that these psycho uh, psychoactive drugs are actually really helpful in a way. If they would just put a little more research into it, uh, they might actually be able to come up with a cure uh, over managed doses or whatever. Who knows what it would be. Maybe they could, if they could come up with some kind of derivative or extraction from mushrooms or LSD, or it's just, I think it was way too early to close the door on these drugs like they did, and that there's much more that we could find out from them. So just kind of an interesting article for the Monday morning newspaper. And now we're up off the telephone, and we got our little high def camera here, upgrading our equipment. So any kind of new equipment that I get, uh, any donations that you guys might want to, any tips, anything to help out, for it'll all go to paying for new equipment. I'd like at some point to get a whole green screen effect and get the professional video editing equipment and everything together. But right now, definitely in the early stages of this. But this is my overall goal for this channel, is to come up with the news every single morning. Uh, just kind of give a brief rundown of my favorite article or articles, and maybe I'll do the Wall Street Journal or whichever one I decide to do Monday through Friday, and give a little rundown of my favorite articles. So I'm going to put my Bitcoin and Ethereum addresses in the link below in case you do want to tip me. That would be the easiest way to send me any kind of tip for if you like the video, if you dislike better equipment, better quality videos. And I'm going to close the video off with this. Where is it? Here we go, this comic. This actually was exactly reminded me of Jess and I. Do you love me? She asked. Of course, he said. Do you really love me? She asked. Of course, he said. Do you really, really love me? She asked. No, he said. Do you love me? She asked. Of course, he said. So she asked no more. That definitely sounds like some times that me and Jess have had where she wasn't quite sure if she asked me enough times. So, a little bit of humor there. We got all the comics out. I don't know. Let's see this one real quick. Sigh, I hate dating Shu. He makes me so mad. I can't eat. Why don't you break up with him? I want to lose 10 pounds before my sister's wedding. Oh, God, that also rings a bell. Before my sister's wedding, I was about 250, 260 pounds, and as soon as I got this job and started eating better, I ended up losing pounds like crazy. I was down to 195 within months, so... Hey, saving money, losing weight, if I can do it, you can do it. You guys know me. If anyone's stubborn and makes things harder than they should be, that's me. So I know you guys can do it. Hey, have a good day. Stay positive. Later.